Every morning at 4 a.m., while most of the world sleeps under comforters and excuses. One man ties his shoes, not to chase medals, not to chase applause, but to chase the man he could be. That man is David Goggins. You've heard the name. You've seen the headlines, the toughest man alive, the Navy SEAL who runs ultra marathons. But behind that image is a life built not from strength, but from brokenness. A man who built discipline from chaos, confidence from pain, and persistence from the ashes of failure. David Goggins doesn't fight wars anymore, at least not the kind with guns. He fights the wars inside, against comfort, fatigue, doubt, and memory. He calls it the war within, and he fights it every single day. Not because he loves pain, but because he knows the truth most people hide from. You will never meet your true self until you face your own suffering. That's Goggins' gospel. That pain is not the enemy. It's the doorway. People know Goggins as the man who runs 100 miles on broken legs. What they don't know is that he still battles asthma. He still wakes up sometimes gasping for air. He still fights anxiety and self-doubt. But he doesn't hide those parts. He embraces them. Because he knows real persistence isn't about never breaking. It's about breaking and rebuilding every single day. He says, the mind is trying to protect you, but greatness lives beyond protection. So, he deliberately makes his life hard. He runs in the cold. He trains when he's sick. He starves comfort because he knows comfort kills growth. He didn't start with power. He started with a mirror. And in that mirror, he didn't see a hero. He saw a man lying to himself. He wrote notes, brutally honest, painfully specific. Every day, he'd stare into that mirror and say the words most of us are too scared to say. You are not doing enough. You quit when it hurts. You talk more than you act. That mirror wasn't his enemy. It became his weapon. While others journaled about dreams, he confronted his demons face to face. He built persistence not from motivation, but from self-confrontation, the rarest form of courage. Persistence is glorified in quotes and posters. But in Goggins' world, it's brutal. It's lonely. It's ugly. Imagine this. You are 200 miles into a race. Your feet are bleeding. Your vision blurs. You start to hallucinate faces in the darkness. Most people would stop. David Goggins doesn't stop. Not because he can't feel the pain, but because he has learned to negotiate with it. He says, pain unlocks a door to a part of yourself that comfort will never reach. This is where most people misunderstand him. He's not addicted to pain. He's addicted to the clarity that pain brings. Because in suffering, the mind gets silent. Excuses disappear. And truth stands alone. When Goggins talks about the 40% rule, most people think it's just about endurance. But it's not. It's about rewiring your relationship with quitting. When you hit that wall, your body screams, your mind panics. But in that chaos lies a secret switch, will. And willpower, like a muscle, grows only through resistance. He explains, the brain is lazy. It convinces you that you are done. But if you push through that first wall, you start to find a new version of yourself, one you've never met before. That's the addiction, not the race, not the pain. The evolution. The world sees Goggins' achievements. The pull-up records, the marathons, the military titles. But the real work? It happens when the camera is off. Those unseen miles. Those silent nights. Those whispered conversations with himself. He says, when you are driven by internal purpose, you stop needing applause. He runs not for medals, but for mastery. He works not to inspire others, but to meet his own standard. Persistence, he says, is not built by goals. It's built by identity. By asking, who do I want to be when no one's watching? There's one practice that keeps him alive in the darkest moments. He calls it the cookie jar. It's not just memories of victory, it's evidence of survival. When he hits the wall, he opens that jar in his mind. Inside are the times he was doubted, rejected, broken, and still made it through. Each memory whispers, "You've been here before. You know how to suffer and still stand tall." That's how persistence becomes power. Not by avoiding pain, but by remembering the times you conquered it. Persistence is lonely. It isolates you. Not everyone will understand your obsession. Not everyone can handle your truth. David Goggins accepts that loneliness as part of the process. He says, when you are uncommon among the uncommon, the price is solitude. He doesn't run away from it. He runs with it. Because he knows, the deeper you go into discipline, the fewer people walk beside you. And yet, that's where greatness lives. In the quiet miles that no one applauds. Few people realize that beneath Goggins' intensity lies spiritual depth. He doesn't call it religion, he calls it alignment. He says, when you truly know your purpose, pain feels like guidance. Every suffering becomes sacred. Every failure becomes feedback. Every scar becomes a story. He often runs for hours in silence, not just training his body, but emptying his mind, connecting to something beyond himself. That's not insanity. That's self-realization through suffering. David Goggins doesn't chase goals anymore. He chases standards. Because goals end, standards don't. And that's what separates temporary motivation from lifelong mastery. He once said, "I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done." And I'm never done. Persistence isn't something he turns on and off. It's his way of breathing. Every day he sharpens the blade, body, mind, and soul. Not for applause, but for alignment with his highest potential. Ask Goggins what success means, and he won't mention medals or records. He'll say, success is when you meet the version of yourself that you were meant to be, and you can look him in the eye with no regret. That's the ultimate race, not against others, but against the clock of your own potential. Persistence isn't about beating someone, it's about not betraying yourself. David Goggins isn't superhuman. He's super accountable. He's proof that the human spirit, when committed to a single purpose, can outlast pain, failure, fear, and time itself. Persistence doesn't mean you never fall. It means you rise every single time, stronger, quieter, clearer. That's how Goggins lives. That's how legends are built. And that's how you can become unbreakable.